What's up, movie lovers? I'm Mike, and this is Gotta Love Them Movies, your place to talk about the stuff that you love. I'm your host, Mr. Mike Brown. I'm here all the time, and you guys, you may have noticed I am not in my studio today. Video quality is down a little bit, audio quality is down a little bit, but that's okay because we're all together, we're all having fun, we're all experiencing this together in real time if you're watching the live show. Anyway, you guys, I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation down in Florida. We're down visiting family. We're on the beach. Here, I want to show you guys a little bit of what our vacation is looking like right now. So we're in Sanibel, if you're familiar with Sanibel Island. It's just off the west coast of Florida, close to Fort Myers. You guys, Sanibel Island in the Gulf of Mexico. This place is just ridiculously gorgeous. Like, these are all photos that I've taken with my own phone. I mean, it's just picturesque. There we are. There's me and Kim on the beach. I think I took that photo yesterday. Like, there's a standing at the beach looking back at our hotel resort. Yeah, you guys, this is absolutely incredible. This is my favorite photo right here coming up. This is, do not feed the alligators. Do not feed the alligators, you guys. We had 2 days ago, animal control got called, and you can actually see in hold on, let me go back to this photo real quick. Sorry, excuse me. So in the pond, you can kind of see here. This is like on the roof of our building, looking down out across the ocean. You can actually see there's like a pond that you're not allowed to go into, or, you know, there's alligators that live in there. There's snakes that live in there. It's kind of gross. Don't do it. So yesterday, we saw animal control come out, and apparently somebody was feeding the alligators, and they wrestled an alligator out of the pond. I have video of it. I didn't have time to upload it to my streaming service to show you guys, but it's crazy. It's nuts. Like, there are alligators here. We're in a place with alligators. But anyway, guys, like, that's just what I'm currently up to in Florida on vacation. Me and Kim visiting family. It's been a lot of fun so far. Tomorrow we're going to go paddle boarding, and we rented bikes, and we went all around the island. Yesterday we went to eat at this ridiculous restaurant called the Bubble Room, where it's Christmas, 365 days a year. It was, it was magnificent. Anyway, guys, you're not here to hear about my vacation. You guys are here to talk movies, and that's what I want to talk about with you guys today. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. With the more subscribers we get, the more watch content the channel gets, and with the more watch content the channel gets, hopefully I get to make this show my full-time job. So I very much appreciate your love and support. If there's anything that I haven't covered already, if there's anything not on my radar that you want to talk about, send me an email at gottalovethemmovies@gmail.com, and as long as it's family friendly, I can make your email, comment, or question a main topic on the show. So, without further ado, let's jump in and take a little bit of movie news.
What? What?
All right, you guys, and our first bit of movie news, we have all emailed questions today. We've all emailed questions today, coming all the way from the UK, and that is the Nerd Zone. Nerd Zone has sent us all of our emailed questions today, so that's all we're going to be talking about. Nerd Zone, first of all, thank you so much for watching the show and giving us stuff to talk about and actually making this discussion happen. So anyway, here we go. Nerd Zone sends in this email saying, big news that's happening near me right now. Keep in mind, you can see it was sent in yesterday. He says, hey man, Indiana Jones 5 is filming near me right now. Harrison Ford is there. And yeah, if you're not entirely familiar with what Nerd Zone is talking about, there's been some sightings. There have been some sightings, you guys. Not just sightings, but we have actual set photos. And now that I'm thinking about this in real time, I'm just realizing I don't think I uploaded these set photos to my screen. Let's jump into this article real quick. I believe this is from Screen Rant. And yeah, I mean, Indiana Jones 5 has been one of those movies that has been in development hell forever. And now I'm just realizing that this article on Screen Rant doesn't have any of the photos. I'm the worst, you guys. I'm the absolute worst. My apologies. But I'll let you guys look it up. I don't want to spend too much time looking for this and looking for that. I'll let you guys look it up. They're all over the internet. There's there's Harrison Ford wearing a mask. He's on set. Some photos he's holding a cup of coffee. Other photos people are touching him up with makeup. But he's on set. He's walking around in the Indiana Jones costume. You know what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. Last month, and I want to say this is maybe a week ago, there was some speculation just before, this was literally days before cameras started rolling. Days before cameras started rolling. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. There's an unverified Twitter account. It's a Mads Mikkelsen. We know that Mads Mikkelsen is going to be in Indiana Jones 5. We know that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be in Indy 5. We know a lot of casting announcement about Indiana Jones 5. So one of the unverified fan accounts on Twitter of Mads Mikkelsen, they went ahead and posted this. Now, keep in mind, this is unverified. Is there a good chance that this is the actual set? Could be. It actually could be. But so far, to date, unless you guys know something that I don't, unless you're able to dig up some actual information that is not available at my fingertips at this current moment, this particular news is unverified. Now, what is it that I'm talking about? On this unverified Twitter account, this comes from Waru@Mads. At Waru1322. Like I said, it's an unverified account. But here they seem to be reporting, quote unquote, that they have in their possession, or rather that they have been on set of Indiana Jones 5, and you can see construction crews building what looks to be a castle. Now, if you were at all familiar with any amount of Indiana Jones lore, which I happen to be, you would know that they're in preparation for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which was the third film that was made in 1989. George Lucas penned a script. George Lucas didn't pen the script. I believe somebody else penned the script and then brought it to, like, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, and they reworked the script. But one of these scripts was, and correct me if I get the title wrong specifically, but essentially it was Indiana Jones and the Haunted Castle. That was one of the ideas, that was one of the scripts that was on the table to get turned into a movie. Now, they've used elements from that script and put it into Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. We all remember that classic castle sequence where he pretends to be a Scottish lord. He's trying to break his father out of prison, from the Nazis, and it goes through and his dad hits him over the head with an antique vase or whatever. Turned out to be fake. But there were elements of the Indiana Jones and the Haunted Castle script that got changed and reworked, and it was a complete overhaul. It was a complete overhaul. Very few elements from that original script got put into Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. But if these set photos are to be believed, if these set photos are real, if these are actual genuine set photos from the set of Indiana Jones 5, if they are actually building a castle, I would like to propose a theory. That they might actually be taking this script, which in the underground circuits, in the underground arena, has actually garnished a little bit of fan popularity. Indiana Jones and the Haunted Castle is a movie that I know a lot of people want to see, myself included. It's at the top of the list. Now, of course, there were other scripts like Indiana Jones and the City of Atlantis, Indiana Jones and oh my gosh, wasn't the Golden Circle one? Not from the Kingsman movie. I think there was a completely separate thing called the Golden Circle. Anyway, there were so many different Indiana Jones scripts that have been written over the years, but Indiana Jones and the Haunted Castle seems to be, at least in like the Reddit markets, one of the more popular scripts or adaptation. You know what I'm talking about. So again, take all of this with a grain of salt. Is this news? No, not really. This is all speculation. These set photos are unverified. We don't know, like, of course, in right here in the photo, you can see that, there's two different set photos, and then there's the picture of Indiana Jones 5. We don't know who this Twitter user is. All that they post on Twitter are just posts about Mads Mikkelsen. And now here comes this post about Indiana Jones 5 on set. Were they actually there? I don't know. Maybe not. But Screen Rant seems to kind of be running with this particular story, so who knows what's actually happening? Who knows what the story of Indiana Jones 5 is actually going to turn out to be? All we have to do is sit back and wait. It's also very refreshing, you guys, to know that after so many years, we're actually getting another Indiana Jones movie. It's incredible. He's in England. As Nerd Zone points out, he's in England, I believe Yorkshire, filming right now, as of today, June 9th. Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. So it's a glorious day. The last film, I think we can all agree, was garbage. It was a complete failure. It was bad. It was really, it was unforgivably bad. But now that the franchise is out of the hands, the directing hands at least, of Steven Spielberg, we can kind of get an objective perspective on what Indiana Jones should be, or could be, or can be. James Mangold, who's directing the film, also director, I keep wanting to say Fast and the Furious, the race car movie that came out 2 years ago, with Matt Damon Oh, you know what I'm talking about? That one. It was incredible. It was really good. He did Logan. He did the Wolverine. He's got some really great storytelling chops to him. Anyway, you guys, I'm really excited for the if for nothing, who knows? This movie could end up being a complete ball of garbage. Who knows? But at least for me, I'm kind of excited to see Harrison Ford don the fedora again. But anyway, guys, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know what's off the top of your noggin. All right, you guys. I want to jump back into the email from NerdZone. Oh, not this email. This email. And that was supposed to be covered up. It doesn't matter. Anyway, NerdZone sends in another email that says, want a bunch of news? Hey, man, I got a bunch of news. Shazam 2 got a tease showing Zachary Levi in his new Shazam costume. And yeah, you guys, this is pretty cool. This is just saying, this is pretty cool. We got to director David F. Sandberg posted a little ditty on Twitter. It was like a 17-second video of like the big reveal of Shazam's new costume, right? And it was supposed to be this big, huge thing. It was built up, like it's all in the dark. You can kind of tell that Shazam is like he's standing in this kind of like covered dome area that's all dimly lit. You can't quite see, and they do all these close-ups of his costume, like of his shoulder, of his arm, of this and that and the other, and then it zooms out to give you the full body shot, and you can barely see it because it's all in the shadows, right? You see all this light behind him, all these street lamps and everything behind him. I think Zachary Levi as Shazam says something to the effect of like, wouldn't this be better if we turn on some lights? Something like that. And then that's it. But again, like other photos have brought it up, and we get to see some of these photos. Now, again, if I were good at my job, I actually would have had some of these photos ready to go for you guys. I don't. So, give me 30 seconds. I'm bringing it up here as we speak. Here we go. All right, just making sure everything's on the up and up here. Oh no, what happened? You guys, this is what happens when you do a live show. This is what happens when you do a live show. Sometimes the stuff that you want to have happen just doesn't quite happen the way that you want it to, you know? All right, let's try this guy. Let's see what happens here. Anyway, so there are some new set photos of yeah, I guess, yeah, set photos, but oh man, come on, what's going on here? My apologies, you guys. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable for me. Okay, here we go. So here's a little photo for you of Zachary Levi in the new costume. My apologies for taking so long to get that up and running. But yep, there he is. There's Zachary Levi. Here's the new costume. It's a little bit different. It's still very much the same. I've heard it pointed out elsewhere that oh, live shows, you guys. The joys of a live show. I've heard it pointed out that the new Shazam costume is a little bit more realistic than the previous costume that we got. Now, there was a lot of talk when the original costume was debuted. You can actually kind of see it here in this one. There were set photos. It looked a little cheesy. It looked a little silly. This particular costume looks a little better. It looks a little better. You can see a little bit more muscle definition. It actually looks like there's a body underneath the suit. We know that Zachary Levi actually has been working out quite a bit to get into shape for this. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a costume. A costume does not make or break the movie. It's either going to be a great script, which Shazam, the first Shazam was absolutely incredible. I don't know if it's my favorite of the DCEU. I think maybe the first Wonder Woman might be my favorite in the DCEU, but Shazam is a close second. It's just a fun movie, you guys. It's a fun movie. So, and the costume plays such a small role in that storytelling. He's a superhero. It's over the top. Guess what? The complaints that people had about the costume looking silly and ridiculous actually made sense in the movie. It's supposed to look over the top and silly and ridiculous for a reason, but it didn't look as silly and ridiculous. They kind of toned it down for the movie a little bit. So anyway, as we go and see some of these set photos, yes, this is the first look that we actually have of Zachary Levi in the new Shazam costume. Also, it should be noted, you can actually see he's not wearing a cape. He has the two little amulets, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, those little pendants that like keep his cape on. They're missing in this photo, or rather, they're there, but his cape is gone, which indicates to me they're probably leaning more towards like a CGI cape. Fine, great, awesome. You do you, as long as it's a fun movie, like good popcorn flick, good action, good story, good character development. I'm all about it. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the new Shazam costume? Do you think it looks hokey? I think I kind of prefer the first one, but then again, I haven't seen this. This is an unfinished photo that we're seeing. It's an unfinished look. It still has so much post-production critiques and tweaking to do. It's not finished by any stretch of the imagination, but again, I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts about the new costume? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know. Alright, you guys, let's jump back into that email from the Nerd Zone. And Nerd Zone also says, we also get a first look at Michael Keaton's Batman for The Flash. Also pretty cool. So again, if you're not entirely sure what Nerd Zone is talking about, that is this. The director of the new upcoming Flash movie, Andy Muschietti, teased a little bit. It was a little Batman, little Michael Keaton tease in there. And specifically, what this tease is. Let's jump in here real quick. Now, this is from Variety. This is Variety reporting on this whole thing. Andy Muschietti tweeted out this photo. No caption, nothing going along with it. It's just this photo. We know that Andy Muschietti is directing the Flash movie. We know Michael Keaton is coming back. Rather, Michael Keaton is reprising his role as either Bruce Wayne or Batman, maybe both, in the Flash movie. And now we get this. With very little context. Very, very little context. The first knee-jerk reaction that I have of this is of Zack Snyder's Watchmen. If you maybe not, I probably should have said Zack Snyder's Watchmen. Just the Watchmen comic series. Excuse me, the writer is evading my mind. I can see his face perfectly in my mind. I'm just having a bit of a brain fart. Anyway. This photo is a little evocative of Watchmen, right? Now, what is Watchmen? Watchmen is maybe not a post-apocalyptic universe, but it kind of takes place in a world where superheroes have been outlawed. Maybe it's very possible that Batman, as a single vigilante of the night, has been kind of, Commissioner Gordon is no longer around to protect him, and now the police are just like, you know what, we don't want Batman around. Who knows what this actually means? But to me, in my mind, it looks very similar to Watchmen, and maybe the Flash comes back, through the whole Flashpoint paradox thing, rescues Batman from being killed or something. Who knows? Again, this is complete speculation territory. We don't actually know what this means. Another speculative theory about what this photo might actually mean or have reference to is this just might be a really violent version of Michael Keaton's Batman. It's been how many years? 1992, I think, is when Batman Returns came out. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been almost, wow, think of this. It's been almost 30 years. It's been 29 years to date. So by the time that this movie comes out, it'll be 30 years since we've seen Michael Keaton's Batman on the big screen. 30 years. So think about that in terms of time that has passed from Michael Keaton's Batman. Maybe he's turned into that old, dark, grizzled, The Dark Knight Returns Batman, right? Could be from Frank Miller. Could be like that dark Frank Miller Batman. Could be out for blood. He could be out for vengeance. Who knows what kind of Batman we're getting here? But either way, whether it's a Watchmen style Batman or whether it's like a Frank Miller style Batman, I think it's going to be violent. I think all roads lead to a violent Batman. But anyway, you guys, I'm interested to hear what your thoughts about it are. Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, we have one last bit of movie news to cover. And again, this comes from an email from the Nerd Zone. This is the last thing that Nerd Zone sent in his email. And he says, Sony executive confirming a Spider-Verse in live action. Kind of. The possibility of a multiverse, Sinister Six in No Way Home might happen with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman, Riz Ahmed's The Lizard, Jamie Foxx's Electro, and Paul Giamatti's The Rhino. Okay, first of all, Nerd Zone, there is a lot to unpack here. Sony executive confirming a Spider-Verse in live action, kind of. Yes and no. There was no official confirmation, and we're going to go into the press release. This is an article from Variety that I'm going to go into in a second. First of all, there was no actual confirmation, so keep that in mind first and foremost. The part where you said kind of, I mean, that kind of helps to add the context to it, right? And then we have the possibility of a multiverse Sinister Six in No Way Home. First of all, I am 99.999% sure. Leaving a small room for error there, I am almost certain there is not going to be a Sinister Six pop up in No Way Home. It's too much. You need to do it. If we're talking the Sinister Six, this is what the Sonyverse is doing. They're building a Sinister Six universe right now. We have Venom. We have an upcoming Venom 2. We have Morbius that's already been shot. They just cast Kraven the Hunter, which will start filming very shortly. So I think those are more so going to be the players. Yes, we know that Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is going to make an appearance in No Way Home. Yes, we know that Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to make an appearance in No Way Home. Paul Giamatti's Rhino did not get a favorable response from the audience, from the crowd. So I really don't think we're going to get Rhino. I really don't think we're going to get Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I just don't. Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman or Riz Ahmed's Rise, however you say his name, Rise Afias as the Lizard. I don't think that these are characters that are going to pop up. If they do, I will gladly eat my own words. But it just seems too jam-packed because they have a very specific story that they need to tell. If that specific story is, hey, we're going to do... we're going to do Sinister Six Light, because it means he's going to have to defeat all 6 of these villains in one movie. That just seems so jam-packed. That seems a little kitschy. It seems so jam-packed. I don't see it happening. Could it happen? 1,000%. It could. Anything could happen. I just don't see it. Also, Andrew Garfield was very adamant. It's possible he is not to be believed, but he is very adamant that he is not making an appearance in this movie. Very adamant. And, what's his face? The original, the first Spider-Man. Why can't I think of his name? There's Andrew Garfield. There's, I keep wanting to say Peter Parker. You guys know who I'm talking about. You guys know him from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. He's nowhere to be found for comment. I don't see him making an appearance in this movie. Okay. All of that being said, there is a lot to break down in this article from Variety. So let's jump into this article from Variety. There's a lot to unpack here. So forgive me, I'm going to be doing a lot of reading here. So here he is. This is Sanford Panitch, who has a striking resemblance to Paul Rudd, by the way. So Sanford Panitch was being interviewed by Variety about the inclusion of Kraven the Hunter being played by Aaron Taylor Johnson in an upcoming Spider villain verse movie. So they're talking about Kraven the Hunter, yada yada yada, and then Panitch goes on to say this. Now this is going to be lengthy, so I apologize. We don't really think of our 900 characters as the Spideyverse, he says. We have a Marvel universe. The volume of characters we have, wait until you see the next Venom. You don't miss Spider-Man. He pauses. It'll be exciting if they do meet, right? So let me pause there for a second. It'll be exciting if they do meet, right? In another article, it says he kind of says with a twinkle in his eye. Like, he knows what he's saying. This guy knows what he's saying. Officially, is Spider-Man popping up in Venom 2? Officially, no. But then he says it will be exciting if they meet, right? So, I don't know what to think here. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. Because he's kind of saying a little tongue-in-cheek, he might pop up. But officially, he's not. But what if he does? That's hard to unpack. That's really hard to unpack. All right, let's jump back into this article. Therein lies the rub. In the world of sprawling comic book universes, the tangled web of... Okay, so this goes on to explain about, this whole thing is so complicated because you have Marvel, you have Sony, some characters exist here and some characters exist there, and some of them are shared characters. So you can't have one without the other. It's supposed to be a shared universe, so it's such a tangled web. And of course, they're using a lot of play on words here. Such a tangled web. Panitch understands that the inherent tension in this convoluted nexus of intellectual property has engendered confusion and frustration among fans, myself included. While he remains circumspect about the details, Panitch is also candid that he expects the tension will soon be resolved somehow, and that greenlighting Kraven, a character who's also tussled with Venom in the comics, will fill in pieces of that puzzle. So essentially he's saying here, or what this article is saying, is that in No Way Home, we're going to get a big reveal about what's going on between Sony Spider-Verse and Marvel Spider-Verse. We're going to have a bigger piece of the puzzle. But then as these movies unfold, in Venom 2, in Morbius, in Kraven the Hunter, bit by bit, we're going to learn what's going on. I think that, Nerd Zone, I think that is our clue for the Sinister Six. Are we going to get Rhino? Maybe. I doubt it'll be a Paul Giamatti Rhino, but I think that is what this article is pointing to. I think that is pointing to a Sinister Six movie. Let's go on. Panitch continues to say, there actually is a plan. I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're headed, and I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed. Okay, so that's basically just more of what I said, right? Tobey Maguire, that's his name, haha. All right, so let's jump in. The implication of whatever happens in No Way Home could allow for Holland to live in Sony's Marvel movies, while also somehow being a part of the MCU. But beyond another appearance by Holland Spidey in an as yet unnamed Marvel Studios film, No Way Home is the last film in Marvel and Sony's current deal. Now, okay. When asked what the future holds for Spidey in Marvel Studios, Panich sounds optimistic, if vague. Note, invoking Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige. I'm going to read this last paragraph for a second. There's so much here. The great thing is that we have this very excellent relationship with Kevin. He says, there's an incredible sandbox there to play with. We want those MCU movies to be absolutely huge, because that's great for us in our Marvel movies. And I think that's the same thing going on their side. And that's true. Let me pause there for a second. That is absolutely true. If Marvel Studios, Disney and Marvel Studios make excellent films, that's only going to help Sony and their Spider-Verse. And if Sony's Spider-Verse makes excellent films, that's only going to help Marvel and Disney and Marvel Studios and Disney. And same thing goes for DC Comics. If Marvel has excellent movies, that's going to make people want to go see more comic book movies. And that includes DC films. That includes the upcoming Sandman series on Netflix. More on that later. Not in this episode, but there's good movies beget good movies. That's just how it is. And it's as long as it's within the genre, we get more good movies. So this is only a good thing, you guys. This is only a good thing. Let's jump back in here. Okay. Pennis finishes off by saying, but we have a great relationship. There's lots of opportunities I think that are going to happen. One of those opportunities would seem to be making a movie about the Sinister Six. Now, keep in mind that this specific paragraph here is conjecture on behalf of Variety. They say one of those opportunities would seem to be finally making a movie about the Sinister Six, the cable of Spider-Man villains, including Doc Ock and Kraven. Sony tried once before in 2014's Amazing Spider-Man 2, so does making a Kraven movie mean the studio's close to bringing this heinous half dozen together for real? I say yes, because they already have Venom, they've now Carnage, which in previous videos I've been referring to as Carnage. So we have Venom, we have Carnage, we have Kraven the Hunter, and now we also have Morbius, Michael Morbius. More villains to be announced, you guys. More villains to be announced. I think this is what Sony, if Sony, it seems like, is following the MCU model for creating a team-up movie. You need to do individual character films. We need to understand who these people are. Give them a story arc. Make us like them. Make them an understood villain. So that when they team up and it's a true Sinister Six movie, the groundwork has already been laid. The groundwork has already been laid. That just seems like a no-brainer. And while that has not been confirmed by Sony yet, it very much seems like that's what they're doing. And it seems like Marvel is giving them the go-ahead. And by Marvel, I mean Marvel Studios. It sounds like it. Like they're collaborating with Kevin Feige, and everything seems to be working out. All right. Last little bit of the article here. Panish says, quote, "It's tough because I think these projects are the kinds of things we have to work on in the dark," he says. "They're not ready until they're ready." Well, yeah, duh. Kraven is a great example because we just didn't rush it. We could have made that 3+ years ago. It's just now the script is awesome. JC was the right choice. That's the director of the movie. JC was the right choice, and we found the movie star because it was just kismet. And watching this other movie, previously in the article, kismet, he said he was watching Aaron Taylor Johnson in a movie with Brad Pitt, and their relationship on film was just incredible. And watching this other movie and realizing that it could be perfect casting. As for the Sinister Six, after a long pause, Panic chuckles. It would be very cool, wouldn't it? It would be very cool, wouldn't it? So again, it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very kind of out of the corner of his mouth. It's a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge action, right? Oh, we're not saying there's a Sinister Six movie, but wouldn't it be cool if there was? Wink, wink. Are they building a Sinister Six movie? It is my belief that yes, they are. And my apologies. It looks like my internet is starting to short out a little bit. So, okay. I think they are building up towards the Sinister Six. Nerd Zone, to your point, I don't think they're bringing in the Lizard. And rather, all of these characters that you've just mentioned, I don't think they're going to bring any of these characters into an actual Sinister Six movie. I mean, they could. They very well could. And they might. I just don't see it happening. I see the Sinister Six movie being built from Venom, Carnage, Michael Morbius, Craven, maybe two. I mean, maybe we are going to get a brand new Liz. You know, maybe those other two missing characters are going to be Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx's Electro, because they're making the effort to put them into No Way Home. Maybe those are going to. Maybe that is going to be the six right there. Maybe Venom's going to defeat Carnage in the movie, and so maybe there's room for one more. Who knows? This whole thing is rife for speculation. Who knows what's actually going to happen, you guys? But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know what those are. All right, guys, it is now time to jump in and take your live comments and questions. You guys have been firing in live comments and questions all show long, so now it's time to jump in and address those now.
It's alive! It's alive!
All right, you guys, you've been firing in live comments and questions all show long. So let's jump in and take your live comments and questions now. Nerd Zone says, new Space Jam trailer and merch leaks with LeBron in the Matrix universe with Granny and Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah. I brought this up earlier because, Nerd Zone, you sent this in just before the show started. So I looked this up and I watched the trailer and wowie, wow, wow. Space Jam: A New Legacy trailer just dropped literal minutes before this show started, and it looks good. It looks really good. It looks exactly like you want it to look. It feels exactly like you want it to look. I have one concern. And this is the same concern that I have for almost anything. Any movie. I really hope to high heaven that they have not put all of the best parts of the movie in the trailer. I really hope they haven't. They did that with Tom and Jerry. They definitely did that with Tom and Jerry. Because the Tom and Jerry trailer actually looked decent to me. It was not a great movie. Not a great movie. So I'm a little cautious, but I also have some trust in LeBron James. I'm not a huge basketball fan. I don't follow his career. But he's been working on this movie for how long now? Like, this has been, like, his thing, his project. So there's a lot of love that goes into the new Space Jam movie, and I'm here for it. It looks great. It looks great. Guys, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to reposition my computer because, like I said, I'm in Florida. I'm not at home in my home studio. So I kind of, oh no, my knee is at a weird wonky angle. So I apologize. I just need to readjust just a little bit. Okay, how's that? Great. All right. Nerd Zone says, gonna watch Loki after the stream. Can't wait. Yeah, the new Loki show drops today, you guys. The new Loki show drops today, and it looks great. It's getting some really good reviews. People really seem to like it, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to have time to watch it today, but if not today, tomorrow. Most definitely tomorrow. Nerdzone says, nice holiday, man. We're having a little bit of heat down in the UK. You jealous that Harrison Ford is in my hometown? Yeah, maybe, just a little bit. He had lunch like 10 minutes away from me. He apparently took his bike. So that's the thing that I love about Harrison Ford, is that he's a human being. He's a real person. He's been in 2, was it airplane or helicopter crashes? Like it matters, he has survived 2 crashes from aerial vehicles. Survived, literally walked away from them. He's rescued children. He's a real life Indiana Jones. He's rescued children in his own private helicopter from a forest fire, I believe. That was years ago. And I remember, I think this was like 7 years ago. I filmed a commercial I was the primary character, I was the lead actor in this commercial for Intel. I'll put the link to the commercial down in the comment section below, but neither here nor there. I was the primary character in this commercial. And so it was weird because I was being kind of confined. Like, I had a whole trailer to myself. We filmed it in New York, down in the Flatiron District. And it was really cool. I was really honored and very proud of the work that we all were able to do together. It was really cool. It was a great experience. But I was treated like a movie star, and that is not who I am. Like, some of the producers were like, "How are you feeling? Are you tired? Are you tense? Do you need a back massage?" Or they got someone to come in and give me a shoulder massage on my lunch break. They're like, "Hey, what do you want? Just let us know. We'll have a PA run across the street and get it for you." And I was like, "I just want a Diet Coke. Can I just run across the street myself and get a Diet Coke?" No. And I understand it was an insurance thing. Like, if I walked across the street myself and was accidentally hit by a car, then the whole production gets shut down because I'm like the main character of this commercial. So I understand. But I also I don't like people waiting on me hand and foot, right? And it sounds like that's the same thing with Harrison Ford. He just wants to go do his thing. Please don't make any fuss over him. Is he a movie star? Yeah. He doesn't want to be a movie star. He just wants to be an actor. Is there a difference? 1,000% there's a difference. And over the years, seeing so many interviews with him, I mean, yeah, I think he has fun with the interviews and he likes being the center of attention from time to time. But I think he also just likes his privacy. I think he just kind of wants to be left alone and allowed to do his own thing and go here, go there, and do what he wants. And I like that. I really like that. Nerdzone says, "OMG, nice Schitt's Creek shirt." Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. If no one has watched Schitt's Creek, I cannot recommend it enough. It is probably in my top 5 favorite television shows of all time. It's great. And this is a movie. It's a fictional movie within the show. It's lovely. It's a lovely thing. Nerdzone says, "OMG, that's Bramberg Castle they're filming at. It's 20 minutes away from me." Okay, cool. So let me jump back into this set photo that I had pulled up before. Where was it? Excuse me, guys. Pardon me. Let me get my stuff together. All right, so this is one of the things that we had talked about earlier on the show. There's an unverified Twitter account, Waru@Mads, who it's a Mad Mikkelsen fan Twitter page, and they posted this a few days ago, and now I guess we're just having confirmation now from Nerdzone saying that it's Bramberg Castle, and they're filming Bramberg Castle that they're filming at. It's 20 minutes away from where he lives. So, okay, well, there you go, you guys. Bramberg Castle seems to be the place that this set photo was taken. Thanks, Nerdzone, for helping us figure that out. Again, is it 1,000% confirmation? No, because this is still an unverified Twitter account. We don't know who posted this. We don't even know the context. It's very possible that Waru@Mads, this Twitter account, went out and took photos and just said, hey, this is where Indiana Jones 5 is being filmed. Is it where they're probably filming? Yeah, maybe. But we don't actually have confirmation of that. So currently, to date, it's still technically unverified, but it also leads to speculation. Are they filming there? Maybe. And if so, what is the story? I still like to think it's Indiana Jones and the Haunted Castle. Kind of a popular option. But we'll see. We'll see. And that's honestly really exciting for you, Nerd Zone. Like, Indiana, like, action, not just Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones is in your hometown in filming the new movie. I think that's great. Nerd Zone says, well, it might not be Bramberg Castle, but they are filming in Bramberg, and the castle could be used. Well, yeah, see, there you go. Again, that just goes into saying that, like, is it verified? No, it's not verified. It could be. It's all coming together. It's all right there. So there you go. Nerd Zone says, trust me, these are real. As like I said, Bramberg has a castle that could be used. As someone that's literally been screaming about this for 2 days. They filmed in Bramberg yesterday, but he arrived at York today. Ford versus Ferrari. Thank you. Ford versus Ferrari is the movie that James Mangold filmed. Slipped my brain. I'm having a lot of brain farts. There's so much to keep track of right now, you guys. Okay, but that actually helps a lot, Nerd Zone. That helps a lot that he's arrived. He's been in York as of yesterday. These set photos were just literally coming out yesterday. There's a lot to unpack here. Again, is it 1,000% confirmation that castle is being used? No. Is it likely? Is it probable? Yeah. It's very probable. It's very likely. What is the story going to be? I don't know. I'm just speculating. I see a castle, and instantly I'm thinking, oh, Indiana Jones and the Haunted Castle. That's where my brain goes. Complete speculation. I have absolutely no confirmation for that whatsoever. The Watchmen reference in the Batman suit, I love it so much. Right? It really seems that way. It really seems like this is a Watchmen reference. I've kind of been looking around a little bit on various websites, and it doesn't look like anybody else is making that Watchmen comparison. It just seems like people are just saying, oh, this is going to be a really violent Batman Flash thing. And, it might. But to me, that photo looks like Watchmen. It looks like the Batman emblem with, like, the little Watchmen blood spatter. I mean, and what does that mean? What does that mean? I think it's great. Nerdzone says, I think I got too excited with the Sinister Six news. I'm very easy to get excited. Oh, man, aren't we all? Aren't we all excited? Easy to get excited about this stuff? So, again, like, I really don't think we're going to see... I don't think we're going to see the Lizard. I don't think we're going to see Rhino. Because Paul Giamatti's Rhino was universally hated. I dug it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was kind of a clever way to bring Rhino in. But I am one of, like, the 4 people on planet Earth that actually like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, universally, it was hated. People did not like it at all. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But, yeah, I don't see Paul Giamatti's Rhino coming up. I don't see Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I don't see any of these other characters. It really seems like Sony is building their own Sinister Six. It really does. Nerdzone says, hold on, where did we go? Also, I know this isn't movie news, but I plugged in my old PS3, started a new save file for an old game I used to play when I was 6 called Sonic Unleashed, and have been trying to complete since Saturday, and finally completed it yesterday, and I'm so happy that my childhood dream has come to reality. Weird dream, I know. This PS3 also really makes me try to get a PS5 a lot more. Okay. I think I've been pretty clear on this channel. I'm not a gamer. I don't do video games. I like watching other people play video games, but I don't enjoy playing video games myself. It's not for me. I'm not a gamer, right? But I like the culture of video games. I like being around Super Mario stuff. I like being around Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. Shooter games, I mean, it's never really held much of my interest, but I like the culture of video games. And so to hear that you plugged in your old PS3, you picked up from the save point from back when you were 6, however long ago that was, and now you finally finished the game. How satisfying is that, man? Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. That actually reminds me of when I was... Oh, man, how old was I? I want to say it was like 10. I think I was like 10 years old when the Sega Genesis came out. That was like the big deal. That was Sonic. Nobody had ever heard of Sonic the Hedgehog before the original Genesis, Sega Genesis. There was a game. It was the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes. He had his own television show called Tasmania, and they did a video game based on the television show Tasmania. So you were Taz, the Tasmanian Devil. I think the idea was that... I think the story of the game was that the Tasmanian Devil wanted to go out and eat all of the... It was like a dodo bird's eggs or something like that. And so the dodo bird got scared and took all of its eggs and hid the eggs around the island. But now the dodo bird isn't doing what the dodo bird needs to do. So you, as the Tasmanian Devil, feel sad and sorry for your actions. So now you have to go around the entire island and collect all of these eggs and bring them back to the dodo bird and allow the dodo bird to do what it's supposed to do. Or something like that. Something along those lines. I don't know. And... there's no save points. I think to play the game from start to finish, it's like, oh man, I want to say it was something like 10 hours of straight gameplay. You could pause, but there were no save points. So you had to play the game from start to finish in one go. And I think that's what broke me. I think that was the game that broke me. Is that you get so far into the game and then you die, you use up all your lives, game's over. You have to start all the way from level 1, right from the very beginning. And it was so frustrating, but I was so committed. I finally did it. It took me a while. I finally did it. The sense of accomplishment, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Nerdzone says, by the way, Dungeons & Dragons film is filming half an hour away from me in a place called Alnwick Castle. Ooh! Hold on. Let me look this up. Hold, please. Oh, man. How did you spell that? Alnwick? A-L-N-W-I-C-K. All right. A-L-N-W-I-C-K. Castle. Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Well, well, well. Looks like this news broke like 2 days ago. Huh. All right. Cool. Check this out, you guys. Thanks, Nerdzone, for that little heads up. What is this? We value your privacy. Sure. Okay. Cookies. Great. So here you go. Here's a set photo from Dungeons and Dragons, currently filming at Alnwick Castle. So that's kind of cool. Oh no, my computer's frozen. What happened? Can anybody see me? Am I still on the air? Alright, looks like I'm still streaming. You guys, I'm sorry, like, being in Florida, this internet is not the greatest of all time, so my apologies for kind of bunching up a little bit. But that's really cool. Thanks for the heads up, Nerdzone. He says, even though I'm more of an AMD guy than Intel, I want to see this ad. Yeah, I'll post the link down below. There were two versions. There was a 25-second commercial, which that's the one that still exists. And then there was a 2-minute version of the commercial. And I have not been able to save it. I've been trying to track down the producers to see if they still have it. And this was like 7 years ago. They took it down and it's nowhere to be found. I still have access to the 25-second version. I'll send you a link. Yeah, I'll send you a link. Nerdzone says, yes, there's a huge difference as a gamer. Not old. I did a new... Oh, you did a new save file. Oh, sorry. For whatever reason, I thought that in your previous comment that you were saying that you it was a save point from back when you were 6, and you just haven't played it since, and you picked it up. That would be, even still, like, as it is, it's really cool. Nerdzone says, also Alnwick, it said Anik. Cool, Anik. Anik Castle. Anik Castle? I used to live in Northern Ireland, so I can do a Northern Irish accent, but other than that, it's, oh man, now that I'm doing I'm live on the air trying to do my Northern Irish accent. Walking down the road. Alright, that about does it for me. There's not too much else to say, so I guess I'll just have to end it now. How do you like that accent? Is it... What do you think? Is it not so bad? Is it okay? I think it's okay. I think it's alright. Alright. Not quite as good as the original, the real deal, but, I don't know. It's been a while since I've lived there. Forgive me, Nerdzone. It's the best that I can do now. I haven't been there for a while. Anyway, you guys, so that is going to do it for our show today. Thank you so much. A huge thanks to Nerdzone for giving us tons of things to talk about, and also in the live comments, keeping the conversation going and having that back and forth. That's what this is all about. Nerdzone says it's bad. Thanks. Thanks for not liking my Northern Irish accent. Anyway, you guys, if you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what my terrible Northern Irish accent would want you to do. Anyway, guys, we live in a weird, crazy world where everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, and sometimes those thoughts and opinions clash. So if you have an opportunity to infuse a bit of kindness into the world today, please take that opportunity. Please speak kind words to each other. And before we peace out, Nerdzone just says, look up Geordie accent on YouTube and try that. I will give that a try. I will give that a whirl. In the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. I'll see you guys next week.